talk about my guy Fleece Johnson today, man. Let's talk about Fleece Johnson today. Um, I watch Fleece Johnson videos sometimes, man, and I actually like Fleece. I like Fleece, man, because his story is really one of a kind. If you ever heard of Fleece Johnson or the nickname that they gave him, they call him the Booty Warrior, right? Fleece Johnson he got arrested when he was like 14 years old, turned 15 in jail, and then 16, he was in a male prison, hardcore male prison. He had never touched a woman, had never been with a woman. Um, he was a virgin, and then he did 40 years in prison. Where over the course of 40 years, he did all kind of diabolical things. He did stuff that most people not going to admit to. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, man, I had to do this reaction video with Fleece Johnson today. Man, this crazy, man. This crazy, man. This a crazy story. I gotta tell you, man. If you ain't never heard of Fleece Johnson, get ready for this story right here today, right? Young people, stay out of trouble, stay out of prison. If you've never been to jail, if you've never been to prison, please don't go. If you been, please don't go back, man. Okay? Listen, man. Get your books. Be the best student in your class. I promise you it will pay off one day. Shout out to my partner, Jump Forward, Mr. George Oliver. Listen, man, let's get this story, man. Let's save these youth, all right? Fleece Johnson, man. Fleece is wild, man. All right.
Person I was with wanted to have sex right there in the library.
Now he talking about in a prison library. Okay? Um,
So we get behind the bookshelf, looking out, and we start doing it. We end up on the floor. He walked right up on us and said,
man, listen, man. This a wild story. They are engaged in the act in a prison library. So let me give you the settings, right? Um, you can't have officers in every location, even when you are outside of your cell and you at other parts of the prison. Y'all know I served 16 years of my life incarcerated. It's a lot of blind spots in prison. It's a lot of blind spots. Even now with all the cameras that they have. They got cameras everywhere now, but they still can't see everything even with all the cameras. Cause you still gonna have some blind spots, right? But nonetheless, he talking about when him and some other dude, some other inmate was sneaking around, creeping around, and they couldn't wait till they get back to the room, man. Anyway,
he said, now this stay as you are. He said, I gotta take a picture of this. And ain't nobody gonna stand and let you take no picture, man. You ain't.
man, listen, you can look at Fleece and you can tell, man, Fleece ain't got all his marbles, man. He do not have all his marbles upstairs, man. And I don't care what nobody say, you ain't gonna run into too many Fleece Johnsons, man. I served a good little bit of time myself in prison, and I can say that I probably ran into maybe two or three people that I could say was similar to Fleece, but Fleece still even different from them. You know what I'm saying? He even different. Man, just look at Fleece. Just look at him. Man, Fleece burn out, man. I like Fleece though. I like Fleece, man. Um, he speaks on it. I give him that.
You a freak. And it's embarrassing because when you go to in front of the committee, they had two ladies sitting on the committee. So you sitting back in the chair, they say state your name before the committee. Uh, Fleece Johnson. 82068, and you are represented by your legal aid. My legal
Okay, so what he describing right here is when you go to a disciplinary hearing, okay, they don't just like if you caught doing something, yeah, they'll take you and they'll lock you up in the hole, but you still go to a hearing just like you would on the street. When you on the street and you caught in a crime, they take you to jail, but you still the next day or some days later, whenever it is, you eventually gonna go before the judge. Well, in prison, it's the same way. What he's saying is they was caught in the act, they was taken to the hole, and then eventually they went um before the, you know what I'm saying, like depending on where you are, what state or federal or state, they might call it something different. You know what I'm saying? In the feds, I think they call it DHO if I remember. In the state, um, they call it a DR hearing in the state of Georgia, right? And you go in and you sit there and they read your charges out just like he's about to explain here. And usually it'll be a lieutenant and then it'll be another ranking officer on the other side of the table, like they are the prosecutors, you know what I'm saying, the judge and the prosecutor basically. And then it'll be you on this side of the table, and you can have somebody, officer, somebody that can stand with you and speak with you. In the state of Georgia, they used to call it an advocate. They may not call it that no more. I'm not sure, but that's what they used to call it. But you can have a witness or somebody to stand with you to help you um along with your case, so to speak.
aid will say his name. Aldine Henderson, 11/12/25/6. They said, Mr. Johnson, you've been charged with inappropriate sexual conduct.
Okay, so y'all know I am a preacher, so I gotta drop this little bit in here on y'all real quick, man. Real quick, right? So, okay, we know what the scriptures say about this, man. Leviticus 18:22 says, "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman. It is an abomination." That's what the words say, right? But we're not gonna just pick on that one sin. We ain't gonna just point that one out. We ain't gonna just point that one out. Let's go over to Ephesians the fifth chapter. Ephesians the fifth chapter says that, let me see, Ephesians 5 around about verse 3. Around about verse 3, okay? But fornication and all uncleanness, covetousness, let it not be named among you as fitting for saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. For this you know, no fornicator, unclean person, nor covetous person, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of God. So it's a whole list of things, you know what I'm saying, that says that the Bible says will not enter into the kingdom of God, including what old Fleece is doing right here. So let's go back to old Fleece, man.
How you plead? Now, how can I say not guilty? They caught me right in the act. You know, and
Dang, Fleece.
he didn't get a picture of the actual act, but he got a picture of us being naked.
Mm,
So she said, "How you plead?" I said, "Now I'm looking in the eyes of two women, fine two women, and they looking at me like it was curiosity. How you plead?" I said, "Not guilty." She raised up in her chair like that. She said, "Mr. Johnson, you was caught right in a sexual act."
Now they asking Fleece, how do you plead? They got pictures of him with no clothes, nothing on. Fleece said not guilty. He pleaded not guilty. Fleece going to the grave with it, even though he caught in the act. God almighty no.
And we have photos. The committee might show some leniency, but we want you to tell the truth. So let me ask you one more time. You've been charged with inappropriate sexual misconduct. How you plead, Mr. Johnson? Not guilty. She said, well, let us read the write-up to you. On the above date and time, our officer so-and-so was working in the library.
So now they are reading the charges the way that the officer who caught them wrote the charges. So now they're being read out loud to Fleece and everybody else in the room.
As library security. Upon hearing some noise, I got up out of my chair and walked around the books, and I walked up on Mr. Johnson and inmate William in an inappropriate sexual act. Mr. Johnson was laying on the floor with his legs thrown back while Mr. Williams was
Oh
on top
no.
of him.
Hold up. Man, I got to rewind that a little bit. You got to hear this again.
Legs thrown back while Mr. Williams was on top of him.
Man, the man had Fleece in the bug, man. The man had Fleece. Come on, Fleece. The man had Fleece in Peter roll Fleece, man. God.
When I
Hold on. You was the
Yeah, that's what the writer read. And no, see, it said, bro, yeah, it's funny. No, it ain't funny. It's stupid. Cause here's what
my
came
fault.
back.
Go
Now
ahead.
this is a lady reading me the write
That's
up.
why. That's why. That's more.
And I'm saying, no, man, I'm embarrassed. She said, and he said, when I hollered, stop, Mr. Williams backed up at him. Mr. Johnson looked like with a tree log.
God almighty no. The man said, the officer wrote, said Mr. Williams backed up out of Fleece, backed up out of Mr. Johnson. Looked like he pulled a tree log out of him. A tree log? Good gracious of life. Come on, Fleece. Oh man, come on, man. Listen, man, listen, man, listen, man. This right here made me think back, right? Because I remember one time I overheard where me and another dude from Jersey, we was walking one time, and this back when I was in the state joint in the 90s. But this dude was from New Jersey right here, right? So we were walking one time, man, and we walked into the gym, and I remember it was a gay dude right there, and he was saying something to somebody else, but we were by the bleacher right there, and then Jersey said something to the dude to the gay dude, right? And so he was like, yeah, ooh, that boy hung. He was talking about some dude. I don't even know who they was talking about, but Jersey knew who he was talking about. So he was talking about the boy was hung. Somebody had 12 inches. So that boy boy, he got at least 12 inches, a whole ruler. That's what that dude said. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, that just brought me back to like memories of hearing that right there, right? Say he got 12 inches, a whole ruler. But Fleece say the dude done pulled a whole tree limb out of him, man. Good gracious life.
Mm-mm-mm.
I said, what he say? She said, he said it looked like a tree log was pulled out of you.
Come on, man.
I said, he can kiss my, all that old stuff. This is Mr. Johnson. You don't have to go through all of that. I'm going to give you one more chance. Just be truthful.
Was you laying the dynamite then?
Was you, hey, look, let me answer one thing at a time. It's hard for me to even talk about this much, right?
Man, listen, young people, they laughing about this now. They laughing about this now, man. But this the kind of stuff that you might be faced with in prison. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see it in one way or another, but you don't want to be the one to be the victim, man. Okay? Avoid this stuff, man. Go to college, get you a degree, get you some degrees, get you some trades, man. Get your credit straight. Man, listen, man, you don't have to go this route of prison, man. All right?
So she said, let me ask you one more time. You was caught in an inappropriate sexual act. How you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I said not guilty. She didn't step out. The committee would decide. I stepped out. I said, man, I'm gonna file a lawsuit on him. So my legal aid, he said, for what? No, dude gonna say I was, dude looked like he pulled a tree log out of me. And all this old stuff. And they sat there, man, talking about, no, man, I ain't going for that. He said, man, look, did it happen? When he said that, I spit on him and headbutted him. I said, get out of here, punk. So the officers went in there, said, Mr. Johnson gonna have to be taken back to his cell. He just got through spitting on his lawyer and all of this. And we got to immediately subdue him. I said, don't put your hands on me. And you better not find me guilty. And the lieutenant came by my cell. He said, your legal aid don't want to press no charges. You spit on him and headbutted him.
Man, listen, young people, stay out of these jails and these prisons, man. Stay out of these situations. You ain't got to deal with stuff like this. But this real life, man. This real life. The stuff do go down like that, man. It do happen. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Look, RevMeoTV, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with at least 3 people. Share this video with at least 3 people. If you can, share it with 5 people. Okay, let's get them numbers up. I keep telling y'all that I'm working on something behind the scenes that I'm gonna bring to social media. We got to get the numbers up though. We got to get the numbers up. Okay, RevMeoTV. Y'all be blessed, man.